Usually do. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Narcolepsy Boy 94 in the chat real quick. Narcolepsy Boy 94, aka Malik, back here with Promise as the Women's Roundtable with special guests here. As always, lovely guests here. Gonna talk all things women's wrestling and other stuff we have for the end. Some little games we got planned for y'all. Feel free to act in the comments. So ask questions. Feel free to chat along and give your opinions on the topics that we discuss. As far as I'll let everybody introduce themselves. Lana, you can go first, and then we'll just go in order. And then Unicorn, you'll end it, and then we'll dive into the conversations. Go ahead, Lana.
Hello, it's Lana Banana from TikTok. How is everyone? I'm very excited for this discussion. It's long overdue, I think.
Definitely. Hi, I'm Mary the Heel. You can find me on TikTok at Mary the Heel. And yeah, I'm really excited for this women's roundtable. I think it's well overdue.
Hi, my name's just Marissa DeLuco. You can find me on TikTok as well. I'm so excited for this. This is overdue and the feminine power in the room.
This isn't overdue. There has been like a women's roundtable before, right? This ain't gonna be the only one.
Not one that I've seen. I haven't seen it if there was.
No, I haven't seen any. No, I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, tell me.
Hi, I'm Unicorn Goth, also on TikTok, and yeah, I'm really excited to chat with these lovely ladies about women's wrestling. It's going to be fun.
Like there has been, but maybe I could be wrong. I don't know. There's a bunch of podcasts out nowadays about wrestling. So
yeah, I mean,
that's true. There possibly could be.
So let's just dive right into it right now. I mean, from after SummerSlam, we're leading towards now the new pay-per-view Classic the Cash Show. From what we've seen so far, they said the tag titles are coming back Monday. We've seen Bayley come back. She's now with Dakota and Io in this little group. Sasha and Naomi are in rumored to come back as well soon. We don't know if that's true or not, but this has been rumors around there. But from what we've seen now, what do you guys think about the future of women's wrestling as far as under the guidance of Triple H? Now that we're no longer in the Vince McMahon era, we're now in the Triple H and Stephanie era. So, what do you guys think about the future? What do you think it's going to be bright, or things are going to change up? Because SummerSlam, I think, kind of a lot of people were before the show had started. A lot of people in their minds were like, "This is the show that kind of will test whether or not the vibes feel different for a lot of things." And just after the first match in general, people were like, "Oh, it's very different. This is extremely not the same, or not the same feeling at least." So let's start with you, Lana. What do you think about the guidance of Triple H as far as the women's division in the future?
I am very excited. That man is not playing. He came to play the fucking game, and he will. My goodness. I'm so excited. We needed this. We needed something fresh and something different. And I think Triple H is the man to do that. He did it in NXT. Look at the matches we had in NXT when he was over NXT. Right. I'm so excited. I cannot wait. And I think SummerSlam was just this small little glimpse into what is to come. He has some pretty big expectations, I think, to fill. We won't let him away lightly with anything else, any less than something that's amazing. He can't fail. He just can't. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean the shoes. I don't think he'll ever feel like the Vince shoes. I mean, we're talking years of building up an entire company. You know what I mean, and establishing. So probably ain't going to do that. But I mean, for the future, I think he said on Logan Paul's podcast, it's impossible for him to fill Vince's shoes, but to create something different for the future is big. You know what I mean? Something that hasn't been done yet, or something that people want. You know what I mean? So I think we always can kind of felt the different vibes from NXT for years compared to the main roster. You could just see different aspects of storylines and how people were treated and how people were used. So, Mary, what about you? What do you think about the future as far as under the guidance of Triple H?
Like Lana said, I think the future's bright, but we're definitely not going to let Triple H, get away with things or give him more credit than maybe it should be. I think before COVID, I feel like we were kind of in this climb of women getting more opportunities and better matches and things like that. And then kind of after the pandemic, it seemed like we kind of went backwards a little bit. Where women were getting shorter matches again and just weren't getting a lot of TV time. So that's what I'm looking forward to the most is more time for the women, because it needs to get back to where it was. And speaking of SummerSlam, I really thought Charlotte was coming back, so I anticipate her coming back soon. I'm hoping they build other stars instead of just the main ones that have been built. I'm really hoping Sasha and Naomi come back for this tag team thing that's happening on Monday, the tournament. So hoping they'll be there and seeing what other tag teams they're going to put in that match. I'm excited that the tag team titles are getting what they need and deserve, because we were promised this tournament like 2 months ago, and it just never happened. So I'm happy that
that's why.
I mean, yeah, because they broke them all up.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that that's finally happening, and yeah, the future looks bright, and I'm excited.
Go ahead, Marissa.
Well, I mean, as far as like SummerSlam in itself, I think Bianca and Becky, that could have been the first match, mainly because I said this is kind of, it was becoming like Roman and Brock 2.0. Like we've seen this a million times already. So I think starting with that was just kind of normal. But I think Triple H was kind of trying to like make a statement with like, this is what we're going to do with women's wrestling. Like, because it was just Bayley came back, and I think, I don't want to speak for everybody, but I was like, oh my God, like that's the big return. And then there was another one. And then there was another one.
Yeah.
And it was like this whole big, like nobody could have anticipated that. And so I think he was trying to make a statement of like women's wrestling's about to pick up. So I have, again, like he can't fill Vince's shoes, obviously, because it's just been too long, too many years, too much built. But I definitely think there's a lot of high expectations from people. And I think he's trying to show us that like he's going to step up and do the best that he can. I have faith in him. I've always loved him, so maybe I'm a little biased, but I have faith in him that he's going to pull it off. I think he listens to us a lot more than Vince did. That's just my opinion, but I don't know. So I love SummerSlam. I feel confident in where he's going. I think as far as like women's wrestling in WWE right now, like just to go off what Mary said, I don't think I've noticed if that was a thing, like how short the matches are. They might have been. That just isn't what I noticed. What I've noticed is kind of what you said, where it's the same like 4 people. It's the same, like it's Bianca and Becky going at it. Asuka gets thrown in once in a while and then she's gone. And then SmackDown has been like Charlotte and Ronda the whole time. They finally threw in Liv, but Ronda's still involved. So like I just think, I'm hoping that like when he brought back Bayley, but then kind of brought up those 2 other girls, that he's going to bring up more, because I think the big thing's going to have to be bringing in new girls. We need new people in there as well, and I think that will make matches more exciting too.
Yeah, 1,000%.
100%. Go ahead. What about you?
So yeah, I kind of agree with what the other ladies have said about like SummerSlam and Triple H putting like a statement in with that first match and the 3 returns. It was definitely huge for women's wrestling going forward. Like I definitely think that Triple H has got a lot on his head with people, with the expectations everybody's got from him. Like he's got a lot to fill, because we are expecting a lot from him. But I can definitely see the women's wrestling going forward, which is great. I'm a little bit concerned about this tag team tournament, because Vince kind of ripped all the tag teams apart and we now have none. So I'm concerned whether Triple H is just going to throw people together and then have like a couple of solid tag teams and split them up. I don't really know what's going to happen. I'm a little bit concerned about it because we're having tag teams. But yeah, hopefully it'll be good. Hopefully it'll be good.
Yeah, well, he's kind of gonna have to put tag teams together. I mean, there's no tag team. People are just gonna have to be thrown together. I mean, I would assume Dakota and Io are gonna be a team since they're with Bayley. That makes sense. Doudrop are a team already, so
I would hope that he does something kind of like that, like Dakota and Io, and put them together and like, bring up, he was the NXT guy, so bring up more women from NXT that we haven't seen on the main roster, throw them together as a tag team, and like no one's gonna think twice. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm hoping he's gonna bring up new people, or like new signings, or like something, and that way he's not like totally wrecking other like storylines. But
well, they have some other credible tag teams. Most of the women's tag teams are actually in NXT, so I mean,
is there anyone from NXT UK? I can't think of one NXT UK tag team.
No, not that they don't have tag teams over there. So
I don't even think there are, to be honest.
I know they moved some of the people from NXT UK to NXT, so I don't know that they don't have any women's tag teams as far as I know. But I mean, they're gonna have to put some people together. I mean, there's a lot of people on the roster that obviously won't get pushed to main event stats, but if they're not, you can just put them in a tag team, do something with them. You know what I'm saying? something different. I am hoping though they will start pushing other people. Like there's a lot of people in the division that can be rebuilt. I mean, I'm sorry, but I really hope Shayna Baszler beats Liv Morgan because she should have had this push a long time ago, honestly. So like, Shayna Baszler.
No, I'd rather her beat Bianca.
Yeah,
Shayna Baszler should have been champion. We're talking about 2 years ago. She should have been Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. First off, that should have happened.
No, I'm with you on Shayna getting like the star, like the push. I hear you. I'm with you. I can't take it from Liv. It's got to come from Bianca. Bianca's either been the champion or in the title match like it feels like 5 years at this point. So I feel like
I think they're probably saving something different for Bianca maybe like
probably Charlotte.
Because even like Asuka, like I don't know if you guys seen her in NXT, but like Asuka, she was never the same after NXT 2, and then you guys still got maybe Alexa Bliss because she's been talking about she was going to get back in the title picture too. I mean, so she kind of I think Triple H is going to focus more on SmackDown, like Shayna and Raquel and Shotzi, like a lot of other people.
Raquel would be good.
Who like haven't come up yet, you know what I mean? Like we haven't like Raquel and Shotzi, I think are still fine because they haven't been up yet. But like Shayna Baszler, they've wasted like 2 years of her. Like we could have if they would have built her up properly, like we could have been getting like Shayna and Ronda, you know what I mean? Like we could have had these type of stuff. But, like she's not credible anymore. You know what I mean? Like she's been jobbing to people. She hasn't felt as dominant. You know what I mean? Like she hasn't felt the same since she was in NXT. So I definitely think under Triple H's guidance, she's definitely going to do stuff with her. Raquel, I think, will also be a superstar. She did push because NXT, if you remember, a lot of people thought Dakota Kai was going to get the title push, but then they gave it to Raquel. So, like, that was kind of like a swerve, I felt like, you know what I mean? So, she definitely could be somebody that they have high hopes for. And then you still have, Bianca, Alexa, and Charlotte, and all these people will also be fine. There's other people who can help make other people. But I think they're definitely going to – I think he's definitely going to use Shayna Baszler and Raquel. Those are the two people I have, but Shayna Baszler for sure. I don't know if she'll win at Clash at the Castle, but I wouldn't be opposed to it, and I would definitely be happy if that happens. I ain't gonna be mad about it. So
I feel like go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say my thoughts for Clash at the Castle was like it's okay. I want Liv to win, but I feel like if Shayna wins that match, they're gonna settle Shayna and Ronda at some point in the near future.
Yeah, because like Ronda's like right now, so it's like she can't.
You don't have to have women's matches just for a title. Like we can have a storyline with Ronda and Shayna and it be amazing and have no title involved. Like it doesn't need like we can have women's storylines that don't involve the title. Like we need like some of that.
They haven't had many. They haven't. I can't remember. They haven't had any. I was kind of hoping they were going to do that this year at WrestleMania because WrestleMania is 2 nights now. So like they could probably have a women's storyline without a title. That would be cool. But
they kind of started that and like did it a little bit with Liv and Rhea. That wasn't going for a title. That was Rhea turned on her and it was a whole thing. But they obviously cut that when they were like, nah, we want her in Judgment Day. So they kind of just cut off that whole thing. But I also think, and I mean, this is just my opinion, I feel like because they don't put always like a huge focus right now on women's wrestling, especially when a title's not involved, I feel like it would almost be a lot easier to bring Shayna back. And like, I feel like she doesn't need that much time to like gain credibility back. Like everybody already knows who she is and knows what she can do. It's not like if you take like Theory and like make him kind of look like a bitch boy and then try to put him in a match against Roman, like that's not gonna work. But like with Shayna, like she already has the credibility. I don't think it'll take as long for the women to come in and just be like, no, I'm doing this now. And just kind of make it more flexible. I feel like it's almost easier for the women. And I don't know if that's because they don't focus on them as much, or if it's just easier to do that with the women's like storylines or something. But that's
who do you drop some names? Who's some people that you want to see get pushed now? Now the Triple H started. Some people who may have been overshadowed, or some people who you felt like wouldn't have got the push if like Vince was in charge. You know what I mean? Shayna Baszler I'm sticking with Shayna Baszler.
Well, so here's something that like I mean I don't know if other people feel this way, but I feel like when Shayna went up to the main roster, I feel like she didn't get pushed as much because she's not pretty, and I think that's just from like a Vince McMahon standpoint. I feel like he he loves pretty women, and that's kind of been known. So I feel like now that it's Triple H, he's going solely on like talent and like who can bring it. And I think that's why he's bringing back Shayna into the title picture, because he knows what she can do, and she was NXT champion, and so I think people like that weren't getting opportunities because maybe they didn't fit that mold that Vince
WWE mold,
wanted
yeah.
for the champions, like Shotzi. Like she, has green hair and like all that stuff, and I just feel like she deserves more. And I know everyone was like shitting on her because of Money in the Bank, but I think she has potential, and I'm hoping that she gets a chance. And Raquel, love her.
It's the same with
I hope that she gets a chance.
with the English barrier too. You saw like people like Shinsuke Nakamura and like Asuka and all these other people who couldn't speak like English, but like Triple H doesn't really care about that. I don't think. He made Shinsuke a top star in NXT. Asuka was never lost a match in NXT. She was like the most dominant superstar you've ever seen. Kairi Sane was champion. Io Shirai, you know what I mean? So it's like that also, I think also is going to hold into an aspect as far as like Triple H solely going to push talent. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter. As long as you bring something to the table, if you bring something to the table that's valuable, you got a chance. I feel like, you know what I mean? Like you have a shot to prove something. So I definitely think
it's going to be a lot more. I think it's going to be a lot more even in terms of opportunities, and I'm hoping.
So who are some people that you want to see get pushed for the future? Some superstar, because we don't want to keep seeing the same repetitive people. They got Charlotte, we got Bianca. The 4 Horsewomen are all solid. You feel me? But who else are some people that you feel like they need to push to get up to that level at least?
Nikita Lyons needs to come up. Nikita Lyons needs to come up from NXT to WWE, the main roster. Raw or SmackDown. That woman. She is,
already though? She needs to come up already?
Yeah. Oh,
she's so good. She's so good.
Unreal. Unreal. I love her. I think she's amazing. I think she do so well on either Raw or SmackDown. Mandy Rose needs to come back up. She's been doing so well in NXT.
Traction needs to come up.
They ready.
They could come for the tag team titles.
Yeah, I was going to say that earlier.
Since they just lost for the one that was on NXT.
Yep.
Mandy Rose still got the NXT title, though. She got to drop that to somebody.
Yeah.
But she's definitely credible now. Mandy Rose has revived her career a lot.
That was the best move, like
for her
one
career.
of the best calls in the last couple of years for that woman. Like she's done so
well. I like Mandy Rose. NXT, you know what I'm saying? Some people, I'll probably say Toxic Attraction if I had to pick anybody. I think they're probably the most ready, if anybody, on the roster. Everybody else, I think, probably should stay down there for a while because they are doing 2.0, so they got to build some people up credible for that roster too. You don't want to take too much away from there because they took when they got rid of Black and Gold, they pretty much either released everybody or just called them. They definitely got to get some people down there. I'm gonna say for me, I'm sorry, I'm sticking with Shayna Baszler, bro. I love Shayna Baszler, but she needs to be like top star material. Like she should have been there. And I kind of felt like when she came up, it kind of wasn't gonna go good for her. But then like it's the way they did things with her. Like when they brought her in the Rumble and she like threw like everybody out, and then like she eliminated everybody in the Elimination Chamber. So I'm like, oh wow, she's gonna go to WrestleMania and be the champion, right? And then she lost, and I'm like, oh well, that's it's over now. Yeah, that little push didn't.
Can I also add, I am not the biggest fan of Sonya Deville, but I think she does deserve a title opportunity. It's the same thing with Shayna. Like she has an MMA background. She's put on good matches, and to my knowledge, she hasn't held one of the titles, correct?
No, not the main roster. She's never been the main roster world champion.
No.
Yeah, so I think she deserves that opportunity, as well as I think Alexa needs to be back on top.
Alexa, yeah.
Or else I'm afraid she's gonna leave, and I don't want her to leave.
What's even more upsetting too, though, is like I heard Becky do the interview, and she wanted to put Shayna over at the WrestleMania. She told Vince that Shayna should win, and Vince still said no. So I was like, what? Like, how many people do you know that want to lose to somebody? Like, people don't even do that in wrestling a lot. Like, they want to lose and put somebody over, and Vince was like, nope, we're not doing that. So like that upset me. But I think there's a bright future for a lot of people. Raquel, I think definitely is going to be one of them, for sure. Io Shirai, even she's kind of in the thing with Bailey right now, but I wouldn't be surprised if she branched off eventually and did something else. So they could do stuff with her too. There's a lot of people, Alexa Bliss could do something. I feel like they need to do something different with their character though. Like the Fiend character was cool at first, but then they broke her up from the Fiend, and then she kept the character, and people were like, "Why is she still this character?" Like, and then Bray Wyatt got released, and they're like, "Okay, well, nobody wanted her to be that character anymore," and then she still kept it for a while, and then now she's kind of like. Remember, she came back for that little bit, and then she was gone again, and then now she's back again. But she's kind of just there right now. So like, definitely got to do something. Bring back the Goddess or something. I don't know. Do something different.
Please.
Something different with her character. But I feel like she's somebody that I think you could throw back into the fire too. Like she has that credibility where like if you put her back in the title picture, it feels right. You know what I mean? Because she has been built up to that stature. So there's a lot of potential. What do you guys think about Lacey Evans? Lacey Evans in the comments. Do you guys like her?
Bye.
I'm a Lacey Evans fan. I'm a Lacey Evans fan.
She's great as a heel. She's phenomenal as a heel.
I am
like,
so disappointed that they've done like nothing with her since she came back. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
oh no, you're fine. Sorry. Also, really quick, wanted to mention Doudrop. Justice for Doudrop. I want her to be pushed. I want her to be like that powerhouse.
Piper Niven. Bring back Piper Niven, and maybe she can.
Yeah. Can she have her name back?
Yeah, I preferred Piper Niven, to be honest.
Piper Niven, they probably could bring her back. Doudrop was cool. So what do you guys think about? What do you guys think about Liv Morgan getting booed on SmackDown? What do you guys think about that? Do you guys
What is
are you guys
wrong with
surprised by it? Or
I could just like implode sometimes, like as like my brain could implode from the inside out sometimes.
I
just
wasn't-
don't-
I
did it guys
surprised.
Did it guys surprise you, or did it like upset you more?
It's
It didn't surprise me because people when baby faces cheat or whatever, you know, the fans are gonna call them out on it, and I feel like they were just like they turned on her because she didn't win in a clean way as a face, and
But I
it's
feel
like,
like they were going to boo her anyway. Like,
I
no
don't
matter
know
what
if she would have beat
I don't
Ronda
think-
clean. I don't know.
I don't think there's any winning for her
No.
in this situation. Like I was surprised at first, and then I thought about it, and I was like, she was screwed either way. Because like if she beat Ronda clean, everybody was gonna be like, she doesn't have the credibility for that. There's no way she could beat Ronda for real. That doesn't even make sense. Then she loses to Ronda, and then everybody bitches because they're like, oh my god, that's all she got for a title reign. That's all she got. That's it. It's over already.
Yeah.
And then Triple H, I thought it was genius because I was like,
Yeah.
it was a great way to like keep her with the title. It didn't make it so it was like insanely like, okay, I don't know if she's ready for that yet to beat Ronda clean, but it also added something to, like, I feel like every SummerSlam match had something like
Yes.
thrown into it, and so I thought that was like the perfect way to end it, and it was kind of like the best of both worlds. Like she still wins, but it was a little funky, and like they could play off of that, and then everybody was mad about it. It was like
Yeah.
there was just no winning.
No
I
way.
think if she wouldn't have tapped, if it still would have been like, you know, she was about to, but then it count to 3, like I feel like it still could have been fine and people would have believed it because it's like it looked like she was gonna tap out, you know. So
Yeah.
and
The
that
tap out
would
thing,
have
though,
made
was
her look
more-
stronger.
The tap out thing though, I liked because it made Ronda turn into a heel, which she should have been.
Yeah.
She should have been heel a while ago because she's gonna be more hateable and more respected as a heel than she's likable because now like when she comes out with the babyface stuff, the promos aren't working. She's messing up promos, and people just don't. She's an outsider to a lot of fans. You know what I mean? Because she didn't come from the wrestling background. She came from the MMA background. So when she came in, she stole a lot of people's spots. You know what I mean? Because of her name. So like, she needs to use that as part of her character as the heel character, and I think that was a good move to turn her heel. But I didn't even think about her getting booed because, like I said, I thought it was a great move. I was like, Liv's still champion, everybody's happy, and Ronda's now a heel, which I wanted. So like, that's a win-win situation. But like, I kind of do understand because now kind of it's like, you know, now that I feel like they're putting her in bad situations as champion. Like, I think she should have kept the Money in the Bank for a while instead of cashing it in for like so early. Like, she should have built her up more credible as the Money in the Bank and as a legit threat. And then when she cashed in, she was ready. But like, now she's a champion and they're putting her against Ronda. But like Marissa said, like a lot of people feel like she can't beat Ronda because she has no credibility behind her gimmicks. Like, if she had that type of character to beat a Ronda Rousey, even with a Shayna Baszler, like, did she have that type of character to beat a Shayna Baszler? Like, they're putting her, I feel like, in certain matchups where a lot of fans can't believe she can win. You know what I mean? She hasn't had that underdog feeling for a lot of people. Like when Rey Mysterio was going up for the world title at WrestleMania, like a lot of people felt like he was there with that underdog. You know, Daniel Bryan was when he had that underdog, they built him up and they kept screwing him over, and they're like, oh, he's ready to get that. I don't know. I'm just speaking for other people. That's how I feel like other people personally feel as far as like they don't feel connected to her. I know a lot of people feel like who don't like her, they feel like she doesn't have a character they could connect to. Like they don't know who she is. It kind of reminds me a lot of Becky Lynch in the early beginnings, like before she became the man. Like she was popular, but like nobody kind of really knew who she was. She was just another wrestler on the roster. She was a good wrestler, but her character was what? Like she was just there, and that's why I feel like she wasn't being used a lot. But then when she became the man, now people are like, oh, now I know who you are. Now you're one of the top stars. And then she became bigger than ever in main event at WrestleMania. You know what I mean? Like if you remember the year before she main event at WrestleMania, she was on the pre-show. Like she wasn't even on the main card. And then she went from that to being in the main event at WrestleMania. So I just feel like a lot of people don't really know who she is right now. And one thing about wrestling too, like somebody said, like if you push the babyface really too hard, like I'm the ultimate good guy, I want to do bad, it doesn't really work for you. The only person it really worked out for, I think, was John Cena. But John Cena just became so big that it was kind of part of his identity. You know, like if you hated him, you hated him, whatever. But if you liked him, you liked him too. You know what I mean? So it was just something that he made work for his identity. I don't know if Liv can really make that work, and how can she adjust to it too? Like somebody like I think Cena could handle that type of heat. How is she going to be able to handle that response? Because I don't want to say she looked kind of shook, but I think she definitely kind of seemed surprised by it because it was kind of out of nowhere. Like the boos were coming during her promo. So it was like, oh, like
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect that. You know what I mean? I don't think she's ever experienced that. So how is she going to handle it? I don't know, but I just feel like she's got to make people believe. I think that's all that matters. But also I think she has to beat people that I feel like a lot of people feel like she can beat. I don't know if a lot of people can believe that she could beat Shayna Baszler because of who Shayna Baszler is, even though she hasn't done shit on the main roster in forever. But like somebody said, like she's a legit badass. She got an MMA background. She's that type of girl. So I don't know. I'm interested. It's another situation where like when she was going to the match at SummerSlam, I was like, I think Liv is going to win. How she's going to win, I don't know. But I kind of feel maybe the same way about Clash of the Castle. Okay, Liv could probably win, but how is she going to win though? Like I don't see her beating Shannon clean. I could be wrong, but I don't know. I'm interested to see how they handle her push. I definitely think they did her cash in too early. If Triple H had been in charge by that time, I don't think he would have had her cash in by then. I think he would have held the briefcase for a while.
Well, can we address that too? The fact that like the Money in the Bank cash-ins for women, 95% have been same night. And why can't we have a woman hold it for more than a day or a week?
I think Carmella was the only one, right?
Only one to hold it more than a week. And it's like, but why?
I didn't even think about that. I do remember that. What do you guys think that is for? Do you guys think they just don't want to put the effort into it, or?
I feel like a big problem with whatever's going on in creative with women's wrestling, and I don't know if this was Vince, I don't know if it's the company as a whole, but I feel like they're lost. Like they don't know what to do, so they just like, this is like with Bianca and Becky. They repeat the same thing because they know to an extent it works, and maybe it's like a lack of effort or it's lazy, but like there are, like we said, there are how many women that we just mentioned who could get a push or be in the title picture, or we could, God forbid, like Lana said, do matches without a title reveal. That is the thing that everybody else but the women in WWE do. Right. I don't really know what the problem is, but I mean, as far as Liv, like, I think it fit that she did it that quickly, because I feel like this might be just me, because like everyone that I see like on my social media, and this may be because it fits me, everybody's like relates to her super hard. Like everybody just adores her and they want it for her. And one of the promos that she did, I think it was the one right where she won, and like it was right back on SmackDown. She was like, "You guys like did this for me." She's like, "You guys supported me till I got there," and that's how I always felt about her. Is like I just like, so I think she is the underdog, but I think she's the underdog that they haven't given enough power to yet. Like Rey Mysterio is an underdog that can do it. She's the underdog that's still like proving herself, and they haven't fully let her prove it yet. And I think that's the big issue that people are having.
Or it could have just been the crowd, and the crowd was shit.
Or that. That could be it.
It could be that too. It could be that.
Talk to Tyler and Anthony.
Yeah, that's right.
What about some of your inspirations? Maybe as far as some of your favorites growing up. Obviously, I think we all come from the Diva era. When we started watching, like women's wrestling was still the Diva era, as far as what they were able to do and what they weren't able to do. Do you guys have any inspirations or people that you looked up to? Maybe for you in women's wrestling, or maybe it didn't come till later. It could be people now who start wrestling, people you grew up on. We'll start with Lana.
Marissa, I'm so sorry because I know you absolutely hate her. But I have to say, Lita, I love that woman.
Why do you hate her? Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh my God.
She's I'm just gonna say that she's a Hardy Boys fan, so I think that adds up right there.
I'm Team Matt till the day I die on that one, but that's okay. I respect it. Continue.
No, I love Lita. But like that, she was one of the first women wrestlers or divas that I would have seen who looked just a little bit different to your Trish Stratus, to your Tori Wilsons, to Melina's, to all of the rest of them. She was a little bit edgier. She was a little bit funkier. And I loved her and Trish. Like I was just obsessed.
Yeah.
I wanted to be Lita. And I think she just spoke to me like in a different way to anything else I had seen. And then obviously transitioning that into like Paige, AJ Lee, all the women that looked different rather than these. Okay, I know I have blonde hair, I know, but all these blonde, big boobed, gorgeous models, they just looked different. And like I know that so many young girls look at these women now and they're so diverse. And like that's the biggest thing, that like it doesn't matter what you look like. You don't have to be 6 foot tall and skinny bitch to do well for yourself. You can like you don't have to like, and I think that's the biggest thing for me about wrestling and why it's inspiring. Not that I could do anything that these women do in the ring. My God, I'll leave them do it. But like you know what I mean. Yeah, they're my faves. I
What
do
about
love the
you,
Bellas. I
Ruth?
love Paige. AJ Lee is one of my faves. AEW, Britt Baker, I do love her. Like there's so many women wrestlers nowadays that so many people can look up to in different ways and see something, like you said, Marissa, they relate to them. Like Liv, like whoever, like you just relate as a young girl or as a woman now, you can relate to them. And especially with that Bellas thing that we were talking about earlier, you're seeing these celebrities that are talking about real life situations, and again relating back to how many women have gone through these same things. So yeah, it is inspirational, I think, anyway.
Oh no, credible right there. Go ahead, Mary.
Yeah, I mean, same as Lana. Sorry, Marissa. Lita, I loved her growing up. She was the first woman that really
Team Lita over here.
got my interest into wrestling. And I mean, same with China too. China and Lita were both such inspirations to me. And then, you know, like I've mentioned in a million of my videos, Nikki Bella is my girl. Like she has always been who I looked at in the Divas division. And when I started watching Total Divas, like I don't know, it was just something about the Bella Twins that I just connected with, and I find them to be so like just authentically themselves.
Yeah.
and not always in the best way, but to me they were just like really inspirational. And Paige, obviously, like her just growing up in the business and being like the one that's different and not like all of the other divas. But also, if we want to talk like more modern, Dewdrop is a big inspiration for me as like a bigger girl. You know, she's holding it down for us plus size girls. And Nikita Lyons, she's just incredible. She's so talented. She's a badass, and I am obsessed with her. And she actually like really inspires me. Like when I go to the gym, I'll play her theme song because I'm like, all right, Heart of a Lion, let's go. So, I mean, I listen to like a bunch of their theme songs, like Sasha's and Bianca's.
Yeah.
They're all like
So
inspirational type of songs. So
Right.
Sasha too, being a wrestling fan her entire life, you know, and always paying that homage to Eddie. And that always resonated with me. Just seeing wrestling fans become wrestlers. Because I feel like that's like, you know, a slight dream for all of us is to be a
Those
part
are
of
always the
that.
coolest stories you hear, though. The coolest stories. You know,
Yeah.
you see people,
Same
wrestling
with
fans.
Liz
You see,
too.
like, yeah, like those are always the cool stories to hear about. You know. Go ahead, Marissa.
Well, you all are Team Lita. I obviously was Team Trish when I was younger. I always loved her. You know what? To be completely honest and fair, I thought Lita was like the baddest bitch. She was so cool. She turned on Matt, and I was like, I never liked her anyway. It's fine. Like whatever. It's fine.
Fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, we didn't need her. It's fine. But I always loved them both. And then obviously I went Team Trish because I was mad. But I always loved Trish. I will say I respect everything Lana said with Lita. Like she was different. I don't think there's really anybody who's been able to replicate what Lita's done, because she was also so involved with the boys. And I feel like that has not been done again.
No.
So I will give her that. But I loved those two. Trish was my favorite. Next era, I am with Mary on Nikki Bella. I always loved Nikki Bella.
Love you.
Loved her. And Brie, of course, but I always loved both of them.
Yeah.
And I also, this might be a weird pick. I was so into Maurice. So into her.
Absolutely. She was
Okay.
amazing. She
She
is
was
amazing.
amazing.
Sorry. She is amazing.
I
Love her.
I was like, I don't even know how old, I was like 10, 12, something like that, walking around. Anytime my mom made me mad, I'd be like, Mom.
Love
So
that.
it's just a thing. So my mom hates Maurice. Or she did. She loves her now. My mom watches Ms. and Mrs. like religiously.
Oh, it's the best.
But I used to walk around doing this all the time. Everyone hated it. Modern though, I agree, Sasha Banks. I feel like Sasha, Liv, and Bianca are the three for me. Bianca, I feel like, is the next biggest, like, she doesn't totally look like normal. Like she's very muscular for a woman, which I love, and she's just out here like doing all the crazy shit. Like she's big, she's powerful, and she's athletic. Like she does have that whole package kind of thing. And I just love, like, my niece is 7, and she looks at the screen and she's looking for Bianca and Sasha. And I just love that. Like she's like, she's like, Mommy, I want to do that like Bianca, and I want to do this like Sasha. And it's so cute because I'm like, it's not to talk shit at all. I loved her too, but it's not Kelly out there.
Exactly.
And loved. I did like Kelly. Nothing against her, but I love that there is a Bianca and a Sasha and Naomi, and those are my niece's favorite girls to watch. I just love them so much.
I forgot. I forgot
they've
about Naomi.
They've done everything for them. So those are mine.
Kelly was holding it down for ECW for a while with those days. I ain't gonna lie. That's the only reason I was watching ECW for the time. What about you, Unicorn? I'll go with you. I'll share mine after yours.
Okay, so I just want to go with what Marissa just said there about like her nieces and wrestling. So my daughter is 5 and she has just started watching, and she bought her first WWE magazine the other day, and she took the Sasha poster out of it and put it straight on her bedroom wall. And I have never been so proud in my entire life.
That's so cute. So cute.
I love that.
Anyway, so in regards to the question, I have a completely different take on this because I never watched the Diva era. I never started watching wrestling till like 2018. So that is like over there for me. But when I first started watching, I instantly fell in love with Becky. She's like the biggest inspiration for me. She was the one that made me want to watch it more and more and more every day. But then like in regards to other ones, I fell in love with like Sasha. She was another big one that when she returned, she took me in more and more. But yeah, Becky was the main one for me. I don't really have much else to say.
Well, can I ask you and Lana a question? So being from the UK, do you guys connect with those people more? Because it's kind of like home people?
Lana's like obsessed with, she's obsessed with like Finn Balor. Like that's
I love Finn Balor. He's one of my favorites.
It's such like an Irish pride thing, and I don't know, like Ireland is tiny. There's 4 million people. That's all. So like to know that there's 3 Irish superstars in WWE, that's huge. Like we're such a small country. Like it's so,
is there only 3?
I don't know.
There's only 3.
Oh, there's those are the 3 big names, like Sheamus,
Becky, Sheamus, and Finn. Yeah,
and then we had JD McDonough. There was another fella as well that was there. But like it's like a home pride, like biased thing. Like you just want to see them succeed.
Of course.
If I don't know if I'd like them any, like I don't know if I would. I obviously like them, but I don't know if I'd like them any more if they were from America. I don't know. I have no idea, but it is definitely for me.
It's always like that. People always have, when you see people who look like you, or people who come from the same background as you, it holds different weight. You know what I mean? Like it's the reason why a lot of black people cry when Kofi Kingston won the WWE title, because Kofi Kingston is one of them. You know what I mean? Like he looks like them. They relate to him. We haven't seen many of that. Same, it's always different backgrounds. People who succeed and they come from where you're from, and they do feel like you're a part of it. You know what I mean? It's weird to an extent, but you kind of feel like you're a part of it to a certain level, just because they have the same type of religion or the same background. They're from where you're from, and they look like you. It's just, it always holds weight to that, I think, for different people. For me though, for women's wrestling, I'm like y'all. I was Team Lita growing up. Lita was my favorite growing up. Lita actually there too. It was Lita and Victoria. Those were my 2 favorites growing up.
Yes.
Victoria mainly because Lita and Victoria, because they didn't feel like divas to me. Like they didn't have the blonde hair. Like they didn't look like divas. Like Victoria, when she first came in, she had like this psycho character, and what I'm saying, she would just like beat people up. I remember when she was with Steven Richards at one point, she would like do this thing where she would take his face and she would like lick the side of his face like a weirdo. I'm like, this girl's like whacked out or something wrong with her. Lita, obviously, she's doing high flying moves. You know, she got different vibes to her. So I'm like, okay, she's definitely different than everybody else. Moving forward, I would definitely say AJ Lee during the middle era when I was a teenager. She felt different. You know, her promos and her style. She was like, nah, she's different than everybody else. I like her. And as far as the current era, Bayley and Sasha are definitely like they're 1 and 2 for me.
Amazing.
Always 1 and 2 for me. Bayley and Sasha, and then Rhea is she was always my favorite. The first time I saw her in the Mae Young Classic, and then I was like, no, I like this girl. And then I started watching her in NXT UK, and then she sold me in NXT UK. So I definitely love Rhea. Bianca as well as other people that I definitely love too. But those would probably be the main ones for me. Lita growing up in Victoria, and then AJ Lee kind of towards like the middle diva era when it was kind of like the AJ Lee, Nikki Bella era, and then you had other people thrown in there too, and it was kind of like, you know, the revolution hadn't like started yet, but it was kind of headed in that direction.
Starting.
And then after seeing that Sasha and Bayley match at TakeOver, that made me feel different about women's wrestling. That whole, I'm like, this is definitely different. Like, this is not the same. Like, and those two right there, just when they won me over at that, and they rank high for me on like, you know, as far as my favorites. So I would definitely say those two. Lita's my favorite of all time for the women's, but like Bayley and Sasha, they creeping in that one. They neck and neck. It's hard. It's getting closer. But I think we all got inspirations that we looked up to as far as like people we gravitated towards too. I will say for wrestlers, I don't think there's any wrestler I ever looked up to besides one, and that was Cena. Like nobody else was Cena for me. Like didn't matter males, women, like never. Like I had other favorites. Like Undertaker I liked Undertaker, Eddie Guerrero, you know, a lot of other favorites. But as far as somebody that I wanted to be like, it was John Cena. Like there was no other wrestler that I felt like I wanted to be like. If I could be anybody, I dressed up for John Cena for like 5 years in Halloween, like straight, like legit.
You have those photos.
I might have some.
You need to show everyone those photos. That is amazing.
But like literally, I refused to be anything else for like 5 years but John Cena. Like it got to the point where like my costume was just ready. My mom was like, "You're John Cena again." So like your costume's over here. Like we're the same thing every year. Like you know who I am, John Cena. Like I'm not being anybody else. Like that's my guy. So, but I think we all have those inspirations too, though. But I think Lita definitely made me, as far as like during the Diva era, she just gave me the different vibes as far as like women's wrestling. Like she just didn't feel like an actual diva because she would do stuff with the men and she would do stuff with the women too. So like she was involved in different type of things. You know what I mean? That felt cool. And then I would say AJ Lee felt different too as far as like how her approach, like that pipe bomb promo she cut on like the Total Diva stuff. I was like, oh, like
yeah,
that kind of felt different. You know, like that felt a little bit different right there. And then the Sasha and Bayley stuff, I don't know. Bayley and Sasha just always gravitated for me. Like they just felt different. You know, Becky and Charlotte were cool and as well, and I always liked them too. But I think Bayley and Sasha were always the one of the 4 horsewomen that stood out to me differently that I kind of gravitated towards too and liked more. So I do like them. But the future I think is very bright. You know, the women's wrestling is continuing to evolve, and there's so much more talent that's going to continue to evolve as well too. Even like, you know, through AEW and Impact and stuff like that. But one thing I do want to ask, I believe Mary's the one who brought this up to me. How do you guys feel about women's celebrity wrestling? So we see a lot of celebrities, you know, who come from the men. You've seen Logan Paul do it. You've seen Bad Bunny. You've seen a lot of male celebrity wrestlers. But do you think maybe we should start seeing more celebrity matches for women? I mean, I think we've seen one, like Snooki did one a couple years ago.
Yeah, she did.
That's somebody
over 10 years ago.
Was it 10 years ago? So
was it like WrestleMania 25 or something like that?
Something like that.
And then there was somebody else, like I think Maria Menounos did something too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like those maybe.
And wasn't am I very wrong in saying that it was Cyndi Lauper in WrestleMania 1 that helped? What's her name?
She was involved. Wendy Witcher.
She was there.
She was there, but she wasn't in a match. I don't think. I think she was just there.
No. But what didn't she like help? Like I don't know if she helped promote it or she was like a manager. But Cyndi Lauper,
she was involved in it. She was with
for that one match. But that's the kind of a name you need, not fucking Snooki from
Jersey Shore was popular at the time.
Jersey Shore was big. I don't know if Jersey Shore was big back in the UK, but Jersey Shore
wasn't.
She's like, no.
Like 2000 and I don't remember when it came out, 2009-ish, around the time.
Yeah,
but like,
something like that.
you know how they do like reality TV shows like Total Bellas and those, like Jersey Shore was the shit for a long time. Like that was like you would see people just walking down the street just doing this. Like people just know what it was. Like, it was the most random thing ever. Like
Yeah,
Oh,
we
God.
take random shit and make it everyday shit in this country around
Yeah.
here. I mean, I'm with you. I love Jersey Shore, but it was Snooki, and I was like, oh,
yeah. I
okay.
was kind of hoping for like Pauly D or something. Like Pauly D.
we need a woman who is like equal to like known status as trash bag Logan Paul. Like if I gotta look at Logan
Yeah.
Paul, I need a woman too. I need like they're just it almost feels like they're bringing in like randos, and it's kind of like whichever woman wants to today works. for
Yeah.
us. Like
Let's-
they
let's-
need to like be
Let's
intense.
relax on the Logan Paul slander. Okay, let's chill out on that.
Okay.
You brought me on here.
Him,
You did this
he is
to
a
yourself.
piece of shit as a human. Did he have a good match? He did.
Man, listen,
He can
Logan
wrestle.
Paul,
That
future
doesn't
WWE
excuse
champion.
him
Logan
from
Paul right
being
here.
a piece of shit.
Okay.
Logan Paul needs that belt. You need to put the belt on.
No,
But
right
like,
No,
He
going
needs
back.
a lot of no. He needs a lot of things, and a belt is not one of them.
Oof,
No.
no.
No,
Matter
he
of
needs a
fact,
belt, all right.
bring his brother and make him the tag champs. Even better. I like that.
No,
Malik,
Better.
stop.
Get
Even
out.
better. Even
Yeah.
better.
No, right. Can we kick him out?
Yeah.
Can we kick him
can
out?
we-
This is,
Let's
this
be
is
saying things like that.
We didn't ask for the first Paul brother. Let's not add
Yeah.
another one.
oh well.
Okay.
I'm asking
But-
for both. But come on, Triple H, come through. You know Triple H.
No, Triple H is busy. He hung up the phone and he's busy.
Triple H is
But
gonna
back-
come through. He's gonna come through. He's gonna come through.
He's not.
gonna come through.
He's
He
not
already-
Okay,
he
but
already-
back to
he
the
already,
question.
he already signed one Paul brother. This is the right thing to sign the other one.
No.
Goodbye. The question.
Lana,
Um,
is
celebrity
there
woman.
is there a celebrity woman that you would want to come do a match? Like that's my question that like I want to ask you guys.
I have one I think could be pretty interesting.
You don't get to speak.
Well, you'll go
No, no, no.
last.
Oh wow, wow. I mean, I can just remove you. I can just remove you, Lon, if you want. I mean, real quick.
I'm joking.
I'm gonna say Serena Williams for me. I think that'd be interesting.
Ooh, that's a really good one. You've redeemed yourself. That's fair.
Number
Fine.
one, she has the athletic background, obviously. You know, from the athletic standpoint, she's a well-known name. Everybody knows who she is. I think it would be interesting because, like, you could do somebody like let me see, like somebody like a Beyonce, but a Cardi B. But I don't know though. Like, I don't know if they could like. I'm not saying they couldn't pull it off, but it would be like if Serena Williams were to do it, I could feel more like, oh, I could see her maybe doing something like cool in the ring. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I think that would be a cool one for aspect for me. Serena Williams, I think that would be kind of cool. Now, who she faces, I don't know. Maybe like Serena versus Bianca. I mean, that would be kind of cool right there, just something like that. Serena versus Charlotte. But I'm gonna say with Serena, that's the first one that popped in my head when we talked about celebrity women because I was thinking about that. Like, who are some good women that could probably do well enough? It's cool. It's easy, I think, to say an MMA person because we've seen a lot of those come over. So like Amanda Nunes could be cool. You know what I'm saying? It could be we've seen, but like we've seen a lot of those. I think Serena Williams could be somebody that I would be interested in.
I think like it depends who the celebrity would be in a match with. Like, for example, you can put any celebrity with The Miz, and The Miz will make them look like a fucking star.
Mhm.
Right.
I don't know if there's any woman on the roster that would make any celebrity look good. I don't know who you'd put them with. So I think it would really depend on the woman. For a pure, like, coming from a Logan Paul point of view, I'd love to see what's your one, Tana Monjo,
Hannah Mojo.
Mojo.
She could cut a promo.
Yeah, I think she would be entertaining, and she'd be on the same level as entertainment as Logan Paul.
Mhm.
Whether she could do anything at all, I have absolutely no faith in that at all. But I think it would be entertaining, that kind of way. And then I don't know, someone said Cardi B. Someone like Cardi B with Bianca, like that would be deadly. I think Cardi B would fuck shit up.
Yeah, she would be like more reckless in the ring. Like she just throwing punches.
Yeah.
Like, she just throwing bombs.
Yeah, I really can't think of anyone else or any other type of scenario that I could think of. But it's a really interesting concept.
Like
I think, to be fair, I think that's the harder part is to find a woman who's willing to do it. I think men are more down to be like, yeah, I'll go in there and like punch people in the face. Like, let's fucking go. Women are not as easy to get into it. So it's going to be hard. I think Tana's a great pick. I have the same thought. But as far as like a lot of celebrities now are going to be like TikTok celebrities and like influencer celebrities, and those are like teeny tiny little girls who are like, no, I'm going to break my nail. I can't do that.
We'll do it. Sign us
like,
off.
We'll do it. We'll do it.
We'll do it.
My first thought when I started thinking about it was, you know, trying to come up with some type of storyline for it. And my first thought was have Michelle Rodriguez come back, because her and Rhonda were in Fast 7 together. So you could do a match with her and Rhonda and have it just be like, oh, you know, a rematch or whatever from when they were in Fast 7. So like if you build something like that, I feel like it could be really good because they've already worked together. They already have that chemistry. Where's that?
I am obsessed with her and those movies, and you just like
I love Michelle Rodriguez. I love her so much.
Now.
Yeah,
even
now.
Somebody in the chat also said Layla Ali. That could be another good one too.
Oh, yeah.
Layla Ali's not a bad one.
That could be cool. But yeah, so that's just like kind of where my brain went, was some type of story like that. And then I also thought about, I saw on the WWE Recruit Instagram that Gabby Butler was there from the show Cheer. I don't know why she was there. Like, I don't know if she was trying out or I don't know what she was doing. But I feel like if they wanted someone kind of in that like social media type of thing, I think she could be a good choice to come do a match, you know, with, it would have to be someone small because she's just like a very small girl. But
she'd have the athletic ability, which would be cool.
Exactly. Yeah, I think she has that athleticism, and even if it's like a tag match or something, you know, just something that brings more awareness to women's wrestling and showing that women are willing to step in the ring. And I think nobody just has been approached, you know, maybe possibly. They just like haven't thought about it because no one has asked them. You know, like, would you be willing to do it?
Maybe, possibly. I mean, I don't know for sure. Maybe some people have been approached. I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I think they would definitely go for somebody who's athletic though. Like that's why I said Serena Williams was the first person that came to mind. Like you got to think household name for women. Serena Williams is big everywhere. Everybody knows who she is. She's revolutionized as far as women's sports and tennis, and not even just tennis, but just women's sports in general. Like she's just a well-known household name. She's extremely athletic. You know what I mean? She has size too. You know, she's pretty good size and everything. So like a Bianca versus Serena match, I can believe that. I can get behind that. Okay, that's different. That's something that brings a new aspect to it. Or they want to do a tag team match, like Bianca and Serena versus whoever. You know what I mean? But that's the Fast and Furious one's not a bad one. That could match up too, because that can make sense storyline wise. So
that could even open the door for like Simone Biles to come do something.
Somebody just said that too. Somebody Crazy Uso just said.
Oh, really?
Biles. Yeah,
we're on the same page.
Yeah, so that's a good one too. I mean, there's a couple of names you could throw out there. Simone Biles, you know, I think, you know, even somebody like Candace Parker, basketball player, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, she plays in the NBA, you know, basketball player, and she's big too. You know, she's like 6'5", something like that. So, you know, it brings a different type of aura and vibe. I do think the men, somebody's dog going crazy. I do think the men are easier to find though, because like I said, I do think they're more open to just do it. You know what I mean? Like, sure, I'll do it. I mean, like, why not? I'll get in the ring, you know, and try it. It doesn't even have to be like people who are fans, you know what I mean? It could just be people who in general just to go in there and do something, you know what I mean? Like, so I definitely think it's more easy to probably find a lot of men to do it. But it would be cool to see a lot more women's celebrity matches just for the aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could start to build more up. Even somebody like, you know, a Cardi B, like, what could she do? I don't know, but like, is the story aspect would be intriguing. You know what I mean? Like, what's gonna happen here? The promo. Can you imagine Cardi B cutting promos? Like, come on now, like her cutting promos and like. That would be the most funniest thing ever. Like, I don't even know what she would say, but it'd be like, it's must-watch TV, you know what I mean? But the thing with the celebrity matches is, too, though, a lot of people have high expectations for them because you really have to follow up, though. Like, it's one thing to be entertaining, but, like, when you get in the ring, the level is really high. That's why, you know, like, you know, Bad Bunny, Logan Paul, even like Johnny Knoxville, like, the match he had with Sami Zayn, like, nobody was expecting it. Like, that was really good. Like, that was. Like, I was expecting the match to be entertaining. That would be a pretty good, entertaining match, but like I wasn't expecting Johnny Knoxville to go out there and like probably steal the show. You know, Sami Zayn. I mean, that was like really well done, really well put together match. So I mean, I don't know. Somebody said Doja Cat. Doja Cat could be
I was
interesting.
literally waiting
Oh my
to
gosh.
see Doja Cat. I was like, could you imagine Doja Cat cutting a promo? I've seen her TikTok lives. Like, literally, I was waiting to say Doja Cat.
Doja Cat could be interesting. I ain't gonna lie, that would be a little interesting aspect right there. I think though, I think if they definitely brought a celebrity woman in, it would be somebody who has a big household name that like to sell tickets. You know what I mean? Like with the men, you can bring in like a Logan Paul. People may not notice from social media, but like I think it'll still do well. You know what I mean? Like if they're gonna do a women's celebrity match, it would have to be like a Beyonce or somebody like really big, where like everybody knows who that is. Like, oh, I know who that is. Like I may check that out. You know what I mean? Like has to be somebody with a well-hold. I'm not saying exactly Beyonce. I'm just saying somebody people like who know people everybody know. Don't tell me you got something against Beyonce too. No, you break my heart, Lana. You're gonna break my heart. I'm gonna shatter my heart over here.
I just
I'd be interested to see who they could bring in though. I mean, it seems like more of WrestleMania, they're doing more of the celebrity matches anyway though. Like we've had a couple, like there were like 3 this year. You know what I mean? So it's like I think the celebrity matches are kind of, I know some people may not want to hear it, but it kind of seems like it's gonna be the thing moving forward. I could be wrong, but like they've done it.
Kayla Braxton. Let's have Kayla get in the ring, just like Pat.
I think she could pull it. That'd be kind of cool though.
I think she could pull it off if she was in the ring with someone smaller like Zelina or like Alexa or like someone like that. I would want to see Kayla get in the ring.
Kayla Braxton's pretty. I actually like that one. That's a pretty good one. That could be interesting. Maybe even I think I've seen like Renee, where I think she was kind of close to getting to the ring too, like kind of like trying to talk or something like that. So maybe they could do that aspect of it too. But I'd be interested to see if they do it moving forward. Who they could find, I don't know. But I think it's just a matter of finding that right person. I think there are a lot of men out there you can find, but to find the right woman to go up against the right woman too. I think that's more of the intriguing hard part as far as like who they could find and what's happening here. But let me look at some of the chat in here. Some people saying Ariana Grande.
I could
Doja
not
Cat.
see Ariana Grande in a ring. No way.
I adore Ariana. I love that woman, but let's not do that. Let's not do that at all.
Yeah, I don't know about the Ariana one.
I'd be scared she would like break something.
she would break in half.
Wait,
that girl,
Florence?
that girl runs.
Oh yeah, Florence Pugh. Why didn't we say that?
Oh yeah.
She was Paige in the movie.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Ariana is very small though too. I don't know if she could.
It's very
She
small.
like runs screaming from bugs and has a breakdown. She can't go into a ring and
No.
like can't. I love her. We can't do that. She also
Yeah.
has really long nails and she has fake hair and it's a whole.
Yeah.
We can't do all that. We can't do all that.
No.
Yeah, I don't know if that would hold up well. I'm kind of with
No. The
I don't
only upside to that would be the name. Like she would be the big, like a big
Yeah.
name, like that people would know. But I think that'd be it. Like she would have to be like a manager or like a bestie.
Yeah.
Like she can't
Or
be in the ring.
It would have to be like a tag match where she doesn't do like the majority of the work.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, no. Love Ariana. Can't do that. Can't do
No.
that.
Yeah,
Or even you could also, I just thought of oh my god, I don't know, I'm not gonna say it right, but it's the other woman from Fast and Furious, Gal
Oh,
Gal
Gal
Gadot?
Gadot.
Gal-
Oh
Yeah.
my god. Yeah. What? She was Wonder Woman.
Wonder
yeah,
Woman.
she was.
Yeah.
She would be. I feel like she'd be really good in the ring.
Yes.
Ooh, somebody said Jennifer Lopez. That'd be
Ooh.
interesting. J-Lo.
Yeah, I could. Yeah.
Man, J-Lo on my screen, I'm watching. You believe that? That's J-Lo right there. Definitely watching that. So,
Fair enough.
and she's like in her 50s, but like she looks incredible. So like I definitely
Yeah.
be.
Oh yeah.
She looks absolutely, and she's athletic too. She still got the athletic. That could be interesting too. That's actually a good one. I didn't even think about Jennifer Lopez actually. That's actually,
See, there is people. We just need the storyline and
and who doesn't know J-Lo? Like, come on now, everybody knows
Right.
J-Lo. Like that's
Exactly.
that's definitely an interesting one. Gal Gadot. Somebody said this. I think somebody also said Black Widow too in the chat. I'm trying to find
Scarlett Johansson.
Charlotte Johansson. Yeah, I think somebody said that one too, but I couldn't find it. Or maybe somebody like I don't know. Maybe somebody like Zoe Saldana. I mean, she does the movies with Batista, the Guardians of the Galaxy. She plays Gamora,
Mm,
Guardians of the Galaxy. So maybe somebody I don't know. I mean, she'd be up for it, but I mean, somebody like that aspect.
I mean, WrestleMania is in LA this year, so the possibilities are endless.
that
True.
is true.
That is true. I definitely think we're going to see some celebrity matches in LA. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
I mean,
LA.
Of course we will.
Like, how could it not? It's LA.
If they're gonna do it to like test it with like some women celebrities, especially, that would be the time because that's gonna be easiest for them.
Exactly.
LA is a big place. I like Jennifer Lopez and Serena Williams. I'm gonna stick with those. Either one of those I think would be kind of cool. I think that would be a cool aspect. Now, who you match him up with, J-Lo, I'm not sure though. Maybe Charlotte. You definitely have to put her somebody in the ring like who knows what they're doing for sure.
Exactly.
Like Charlotte.
I would say, would we be opposed to like Zelina, like this, like
Oh,
'cause
love that.
Zelina's Spanish,
Love
like Spanish, and you know what I mean?
Love that.
Do a little,
Zelina
like,
Vega and J-Lo,
Or
maybe a
Raquel.
tag team match, something. Tag team match
or
right there.
Raquel, yeah. I mean, you could do a tag team or whatever, so like J-Lo doesn't have to go in by
Or
herself.
Raquel.
Yeah.
Raquel and
Yeah,
J-Lo?
like just do.
Yeah,
I think that would be a really great opportunity for like some real like Spanish.
They'd be Latina heat.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, yeah, I like it.
Right?
See,
I do like
there's
that.
so many possibilities and so many options. You just need
Okay,
to.
who's
Yeah.
calling Triple H? We gotta do this.
I'll text him now.
Okay. thanks.
Someone, please.
All right, before we move on, give me 3 women for the future that you want to see as world champion. Three women
Ooh.
that
Ooh.
three women that have to be the world champion for you. Doesn't have to be like soon, but like they have to succeed for you, or you really want to see them be the top champions.
Specifically in WWE.
Be anybody, WWE, AEW, wherever you want to go
Oh,
with.
okay, that makes it more interesting.
It
I'm
could
happy
be AEW.
with that.
That's
If
a
I'm
really good question.
thinking WWE, I would love Shotzi at one point. I think Dakota Kai eventually, and then if I switch over to AEW, I would love to see Tony Storm. I'm sure will be there at some point. So if I pick not an obvious one, I'm obsessed with Ty Conti. So I'd love to see her break away from Sammy
Yeah.
at some point in life
Yes.
and go out on her own and do some shit. But
Yeah, she needs to.
For me, I mean, I've already said Shayna Baszler, so Shayna Baszler is sticking with her. I'm gonna say Shayna Baszler, Raquel, and from AEW, Chris Statlander. I love Chris Statlander.
Ooh, yeah.
Chris Statlander is incredible, so I think she's somebody who is definitely heavily slept on in that division.
Fair.
Whoever wants to go
Um,
next. Go
If
ahead,
we're
Lana.
talking WWE, I really want Nikita Lyons eventually down the not in the next like in like next 5 years, like not immediately, but definitely her. I think Serena Deeb needs a world championship run in AEW. I am obsessed with her. I think she deserves it. And
Serena Deeb's
also, yeah, Tony Storm as well. I think as you said, Marissa, she needs a championship. Definitely.
For me, like Lana, Nikita Lyons, she is a future champ, and that's that. Also, Raquel, I really want her to show up for the Latinas, and I think she could do it. It's believable for her to become champion because she's muscular and she's really tall. So I think that's another one. And then probably my third one would be Dewdrop, just because, like I said, she's here for the plus size girlies, and I'm here for it.
Amazing.
Yeah, I think for me, if we're going WWE, it's going to be Raquel and Dakota Kai, and AEW's Chris Statlander every day.
Yeah, Chris
I love
Statlander.
her.
Touch on before. Let's touch on the AEW's women's division real quick. What do you guys think about the women's division in AEW, or things that can improve? Because a lot of people aren't too happy with how the division has been presented since it started. So, what are some things that you think definitely needs to improve for the women's division? Because they have the talent. I mean, they have a lot of talent there.
It's getting better. Tony Khan just needs to start putting a little bit more effort into his women and stop focusing on one or two people at a time. They have the talent. This is what the annoying thing is that they have the talent. Their women's roster is amazing. Just like, let's start building up storylines. Like, let's start doing something. It's getting there slowly. It's just not going quick enough for my liking. That's all.
Yeah.
But I think it has the potential. That's it. It has the potential to be absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you guys cover this because I don't really watch AEW, so this is all you guys.
I feel like I think the biggest thing in general that AEW needs is more TV time. They have 1,000,001 men, let alone even trying to fit the women in there, and doing maybe one women's match a week, besides the fact that like Tony and I need to chat because it's disrespectful. Like, that's not enough. You need to have more women's segments and promos and matches, and they just throw all of them onto AEW Dark or Dark Elevation. And like, not to be rude, but I'm sorry, nobody's watching that on YouTube. It's just simply not happening unless it's like your favorite is on there and then
Yeah.
you see you'll go. But like, no one's watching that like for fun. Like, he needs to invest in more TV time, and that's going to help everybody, but it should allow him to invest in more of the women. Like, everything is Britt and Tony, it feels like at this point. And then they're throwing in Thunder Rosa, and she's the champ. So why is she like thrown in randomly? Like, she should be at the top, and he's not even doing that. It's just, it feels messy. It feels messy.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like they've got like a heavily bloated roster and they don't know what to do with half of them. And then what we only have, is it the TBS and the women's champion? We don't have tag teams in AEW, do we? So I feel like they could maybe benefit from getting women's tag teams to use up some of their roster as well. Or
I
a
also
third,
think
or a
just
third women's title, like a mid-card, another
Yeah.
mid-card or something.
Exactly. And just a few like decent bloody storylines. Like, I have not been invested in any single AEW women's storyline ever, maybe.
Yeah,
I've been interested in matches, like the Thunder
I don't
Rosa
either.
and Baker match.
I can't
I've been
think of one
interested in that
storyline. I can't think of one storyline that really was memorable for the women in AEW. Like, off the top of my head, like
match.
Yeah.
Because there hasn't been one. There literally has not
unfortunate.
been one. So
Yeah,
he needs to put on his big boy pants, Mr. Tony Khan, and start writing some better women's.
The only woman they really they push Britt Baker a lot, but the only woman I think they're really solely on focus on is Jade Cargill. Like, she's the only one that's been built up. She's never lost. She hasn't lost yet. She's TBS champion. So I think they're the only one that they're really. She's been really the main focus of the women's division, which is great. You know, she definitely brings something. We talk about people bringing something different to the table. Like, she doesn't look like any of the women on the roster. She's bigger. She's stronger than everybody else. So she brings a different type of aura to the roster. So I definitely think they're just focusing on her. But like you said, like Serena Deeb, she's been putting on great matches. You know, Chris Statlander, I really like her a lot too, but they don't really do much with her. Athena's there, but she hasn't really done much. She's been there either. So it's like, you know, I definitely think they need to put more time into the women's division as far as they do to the men's. You know what I mean? Like, they really need to focus more on putting.
My thing with women's wrestling, like, you look at Impact and their knockout division. My God, that puts WWE to shame. It puts AEW to shame. Like, they know what they're doing with their women, and they have amazing storylines and amazing matches. And if they can do it, you guys can do it too. So, like, just it bothers me. It bothers me a lot when it's so blatantly obvious that they're just not bothered. You know,
they could even start doing more stories with like the women and the men. Like, if they're not going to do stuff with the women, like as far as maybe put them in the title or just do stuff, throw them in a storyline with the men. You know what I mean? Like, do something with that. You know, like more couple. Like, how many? As far as like I don't know how many they have besides Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti, but like, you know, I feel like we haven't seen like a couple like being pushed like heavily like in a long time. You know what I mean? Like, remember, like, we grew up.
Isn't Anna Jay going out with Jungle Boy? Aren't they?
Yeah, but they're not on TV together. So
no,
they're not doing stuff on TV together. But like, I feel like we haven't seen that dominant couple being pushed on TV in quite some. Maybe like Edge and Vicky Guerrero. Last night I talked about, like the last one where like they were involved in storylines. You hated them. They did stuff weekly on TV. You feel me? Like, they were involved in stuff. We haven't seen that in a while. So maybe they could do something like that. You know what I mean? Like, at least they're doing something. You know, better than be doing nothing. You know, like, better for people to be on TV doing something than just sitting in the back doing nothing. They have a lot of talent there, and I mean, they have so much talent in that women's division, but it just feels kind of lackluster. Like certain people, and like you said, not everybody watches AW Dark. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody even watches AW Rampage. You know what I mean? So it's like
they need to do a brand split, like a proper brand split. Can we please stop having Rampage? Wait, Rampage is on Friday, isn't it?
Yeah,
Rampage
as like
is
a carryover show. Like it just doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't make sense. Like, across the board for the men and for the women, we need like a proper little brand split. Maybe not forever, but just to have two separate things, just to make it clear, because I feel like it's very muddled.
I feel like if they did that, they would get more people involved then, because you're not having the same people that are on Dynamite showing up on Rampage every week as well.
Yeah, exactly.
It seemed that way, but all right, to end it off, I got 3 little quick games that we'll play for you all. So You all just give your answers and your personal opinions. This is your answer, so you just answer however you feel. I got one called the hot seat, which will be 5 tough questions, some controversial questions that you have to answer. If you want me to, I'll answer them along with you guys. And then you have yes or no. The yes or no is just simple. You just say yes or no. It'll be a question. You don't have to explain why. You can say yes or no. And then I have one pick between the two. So I'll name 2 superstars, and you just tell me which one you think is better. Not your personal favorites. You got to tell me which one you really think is the better overall one. So which one you want to start with? You want to start with hot seat, yes or no, or pick between the two? Which one y'all feeling first?
Do one of the quick ones first. The yes or
Yeah.
no one or something.
Yeah.
All right, yes or no? So
Yes.
moving forward, and we can just go in order. So Lana, from Mary to you guys can just go in order. So first one, moving forward, should WrestleMania remain 2 nights? Yes or no?
No.
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 Yes.
I'm gonna say yes too.
It's BS. I hate
Fair.
it.
Fair.
Do you guys think? So moving forward, do you think Roman Reigns will reach 1,000 days as champion? You think it's gonna happen? Yes or no?
No. No.
No.
Hopefully not. No.
Nope.
I'm gonna say yes.
Of course you are.
I think he's only gonna do it with one title though. He's not gonna do it. He's not gonna have both of them. I think he's gonna hold the Universal title for at least another year. The WWE title, he'll probably lose at Clash of the Castle or something. But Roman Reigns should never lose the title ever. Never.
Said
Next
no one
question.
ever.
Do you guys think moving forward? Do you think John Cena will break Ric Flair's record as 16-time champion? Yes or no?
Yes.
No.
I'm gonna say no.
I'm gonna say no.
I hope
I
so.
don't think he is either. I think if it's gonna be anybody, honestly, I think it's gonna be Charlotte. A lot of people were saying Randy Orton.
Yeah. I'd love it to be Charlotte as well.
Well, we'll kind of answer this a little bit, but you guys can say yes or no. Moving forward, say 10 years from now, looking 10 years from now, will Triple H improve WWE's product better than it is the last 10 years moving forward? So the last 10 years compared to the future of 10 years, will Triple H make the WWE better overall?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No pressure, Triple H.
Moving forward, if Bray Wyatt comes back to wrestling, do you think his best move would be to come back to WWE career-wise for him, or to go somewhere else? Do you think
Yeah,
WWE?
I think WWE.
Yeah, I think it'd be a better move.
Same. WWE.
WWE all the way.
Last one. When it's all said and done, you gotta really answer how you feel. When it's all said and done, will Charlotte be the GOAT of women's wrestling?
Will what?
When it's all said and done, when she's retired and she's not wrestling anymore, will Charlotte be known as the women's wrestling GOAT? Will she go down as the greatest?
I think so. Yeah. I do. I think so.
Everyone knows how I feel about her, but yes.
I think she probably will be. Yeah.
I'm in denial, so I'm gonna say no.
Her or Sasha. Her or Sasha.
Yeah, I'd probably say Charlotte.
Yeah.
It's just the credibility is just there. It's too much to deny. She's already done so much, and
Yeah.
she'll probably do much more. I mean, she's only in her mid-30s. She's already got like 13 titles, and she's made.
I don't think it should. I don't think it should be, but I think that's how it's gonna play out. So
Yeah.
Right. So let's do. You guys want to do hot seat next, or pick between the two?
Pick between.
Yeah.
You guys nervous about the hot seat one, huh? You guys a little nervous about that one. All right, pick between the two. I'm gonna name 2 wrestlers. You just tell me which wrestler you think is better. You don't have to explain why. You just pick and then you just move on. So we'll start with the first one: Trish or Becky.
Trish.
Becky.
Trish.
Becky.
Lita or Bailey.
Lita.
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 It's America.
It is.
Bailey. I'm going with Bailey.
Fair.
Charlotte or Sasha.
Oh, Sasha.
Charlotte.
Sasha.
Sasha.
AJ Lee or Nikki Bella.
Ah. AJ
Who's
Lee.
better? Who's better?
AJ Lee. Sorry, I'm so sorry, guys.
AJ Lee.
I'm sticking
Objectively.
I'm sticking with Nikki. I didn't care for AJ Lee at all.
I'm not answering this one because I've never really watched either of them.
Here's the thing with Nikki though. If Nikki had better promos, then I would have said her. But AJ Lee had incredible promos and in-ring work. So
Fair.
That is true. Alexa Bliss or Asuka?
Oscar.
Alexa.
I'm gonna go Alexa.
I'm going with Asuka.
Kind of split. So you guys kind of split down the middle a little bit.
Hmm.
Bianca or Rhea?
Rhea.
Bianca.
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 Beth Phoenix or Naomi?
Naomi.
Naomi.
Naomi, probably.
Naomi.
Yeah.
Liv Morgan or Io Shirai? Or Io Sky, I'm sorry. Should I?
Liv.
I haven't seen a lot of Io Sky, so I'm just gonna go with Liv.
Liv, definitely.
Liv.
Mickey James or Paige?
Paige.
Paige.
Probably Paige.
Have watched Paige stuff, so Paige.
Aw.
Last one for the women, Ronda or Shayna?
Rhonda.
Rhonda.
I kind of like Shayna on that one.
I'm gonna go Ronda.
All right. Let's move into some more of the men. Roman or CM Punk?
Oh my god, are you kidding?
I think I'm
Which
going
one's better? You gotta pick.
Lana, you have to be objective.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's Punk. Obviously, I'm gonna say Punk. Come on.
Roman.
The answer is Punk, and I'm miserable either way. But the answer is
Punk.
You're so angry.
I forgot she hates them both equally, I think.
pretty similarly, yeah.
Better, I think, man, when it's all said and done, Roman Reigns will be better. He'll go down better as CM Punk
God.
when it's all said and done. Jericho or Bryan Danielson?
Jericho.
Daniel Bryan.
Jericho, probably.
Daniel Bryan.
All time, I gotta say Jericho. AJ Styles or Rey Mysterio?
AJ Styles.
Ray. All day.
Ray, same, all day, Ray.
AJ Styles.
I'm shocked.
I'm gonna
Ray's a goat.
I'm gonna say AJ Styles too for me. I think he's better. He does a little bit more for him than Rey Mysterio to me. This one may be tough. Edge or Randy Orton?
Oh. Randy.
I'm gonna go with Edge.
The answer is Randy. The correct answer.
Randy.
I probably would say Randy too. John Cena
That's fine.
or The Undertaker?
Taker.
Undertaker.
I'm gonna say Cena. I feel like it could go either way, but I'm gonna go Cena.
I'm gonna go with Taker.
You don't need to answer that one. You know what I'm thinking. So, Triple H or this one might be easy. Triple H or Brock Lesnar?
Triple H.
Triple H.
Triple H.
Triple H.
Brock. No, I think I would say Triple H ranks higher than Brock by a little bit though for me. Drew McIntyre or Bobby Lashley?
Ooh. Drew McIntyre.
I would say Drew also.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Drew.
I'm going with Drew.
Jeff Hardy or Seth Rollins?
This is the question. What is the question?
Who's better? Who's all time? Who's better?
I know.
Oh, I have to say Seth. I'm so sorry, Marissa. Please don't kill me.
Jeff.
Jeff is the answer.
Seth.
Oh my god, it hurts. Continue.
Marissa, it's okay. We'll go.
That one is kind of tough. That one's kind of tough.
It is tough.
This one I think is kind of debatable back and forth. People go either way.
Yeah.
Rock or Austin?
Who?
The Rock or Stone Cold?
Oh, Stone Cold.
The Rock.
Stone Cold.
Stone Cold.
I'm going with The Rock on that one for me. Last one, Bray Wyatt or Finn Balor?
Oh.
Finn. Of course, Finn. Of course.
Finn.
I'm gonna say Finn too. Oh no.
Same Bray. I don't even care. Bray.
I might have to go with Bray Wyatt on that one too. For me, Finn Balor is up there, though. All right, hot seat questions. I'll answer them too if you guys want me to, so you guys don't feel alone.
Yeah.
Just your personal opinions. Some people ain't gonna like them, but what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Everybody. Give me a wrestler that you never saw the appeal in. Somebody that maybe a lot of people like that you never cared for or never saw any appeal in. It could be a male or a woman too. It could be either one, whichever one you want to go for. I'm sure many people have a few, but maybe it could be a wrestler that maybe a lot of people like that you just never. Not saying you hated them, but you just never maybe were a big fan. Like, I don't know, I'm not on the bandwagon train. I guess I'm not on the fan side of them.
Shawn Michaels.
I was gonna say that too. Shawn Michaels.
Mine would be Rey Mysterio.
Ooh,
Rude. I'm from San Diego. He's my hometown boy. Respect.
I like Rey Mysterio, but he was never one of my favorites that I rooted for. I just never found myself rooting for him a lot.
Interesting. Mine is CM Punk, without a doubt.
Mine's AJ Styles. I don't see the appeal in him.
Wow.
That one kind of hurts. Right, give me a theme song that a lot of people love that you hate.
Oh,
I said mine in the last podcast. I'll say it again. I don't like King of Kings. Never liked it.
I can't even think of ones.
King of Kings, the Triple H King of Kings theme song. I do like his other theme songs, but the King of Kings one, I just never really liked that one. I don't know why.
I can't even think of any. I kind of think
Oh,
of ones.
For mine, Becky's. I don't hate it, but I'm not in love with
Yeah.
it, and I feel like a lot of people love it.
Yeah. Oh, Jade Cargill. Jade Jade's
Cargill?
from AEW. I don't particularly like that one.
I don't think I know her.
I can't think of one.
That's a difficult question.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I don't
Somebody
know,
said-
Livs. I'm
somebody said
not a
Darby
fan
Allin.
of Livs.
Mm.
Oh, I love Darby's song.
Liv, you talking about the original one she has right now? The one she has now?
Yeah, I don't like the one that she has now.
Yeah, that one's kind of
It's strange to me.
that one's kind of
I don't know. Maybe the Miz's. I don't see.
that one's
I love that one.
I do too.
All right. What about a moment in wrestling that pissed you off that you will never forgive? That you would just never let go? For me, it's The Fiend and Seth Rollins Hell in a Cell match. I will fucking never had that. I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah,
It makes me so
that's
mad.
one.
As far as like booking wise, I would just never understand that. I just don't understand the logic behind it.
For me, it's Demon Finn Balor and Roman Reigns. They didn't need to have him as Demon Finn Balor. It could have just been Finn. It could have just been plain old Finn. Okay,
He already
it
beat
didn't
him,
need
though.
to be Demon. That was probably mine.
I was there for that one too in person.
Were you?
I
Oh,
was there. That's what you're talking about, like when the rope kind of broke or something like that. And
Mhm.
yeah.
Unnecessary.
For me, like, I can understand it, but I'll just never get over it. Brock beating Taker and ending the streak.
oh,
I'll just
interesting.
I'll never understand.
Streak ending. That one. A lot of people. I think somebody said
No,
that.
specifically Brock ending it though. Like
Yeah.
that's just
Didn't do it for you.
no.
That's
What
fair.
about you, Melissa?
Anything Romans won in the last year. If we're gonna talk about something that like traumatized me though, was CM Punk taking out Jeff Hardy in the steel cage match. I to this day remember the whole thing to a T. I sobbed for like an hour. It was not okay.
Yeah,
So
it was-
that I didn't like Punk to begin with, and that just made it 10 times.
Oh no.
I was on the opposite side. I was with the smile on my face because
Yeah, I
my
was
CM Punk fandom started to grow during that feud a lot.
Oh,
actually,
well. All right, Malik, we just won't be homies. It's fine.
Hey, I'm sorry. I like CM Punk. He was appealing to me. I think everybody answered, right? Everybody, did you say one?
No, I'm
Good.
So this is controversial, but I actually enjoyed the Fiend and Seth Rollins match. Don't
Oh,
hold me against
gosh.
that. But the downfall of the Fiend after that, I will never understand the way he just went down.
Yeah, that was tough to take.
I'll say the booking of Braun
It's
Strowman.
amazing, and Fiend could have been incredible if booked.
Yeah, I agree.
Throw
The
out
whole
another one.
burnt Fiend, I never understood that.
Yeah, the Fiend definitely lost some steam. That's why it kind of pissed me off during the match because it didn't make any sense. So I kind of saw the writing on the wall. I'll say the booking of Braun Strowman too for me. I didn't understand the whole after the Roman feud when he did the whole Roman feud, like he was like ready for that next step. You know what I mean? And then they fed him to Brock, and then he got destroyed every time by Lesnar. So I was like, that just didn't make that make sense to me at all. Worst WrestleMania match you ever watched?
Oh, that's a really difficult one.
It could be more in the recent years. It could be in the past.
I
It could
can't
be.
Roman and Brock this year. That was fucking awful.
Same. That was gonna be mine too.
Ooh, is it worse than the one at 34 though? WrestleMania 34? That one was pretty bad too.
Were they at 34 as well? That's how little I care.
Yeah, that was the one in New Orleans. That's when everybody thought Roman was gonna win, and then he didn't win at the end. He was like bleeding and stuff.
Yeah, one of them two. Just wasn't it for me. Wasn't it?
Somebody said take Giant Gonzalez. That one was pretty bad too.
Oh yeah, that was bad.
I might say, I don't know if I want to say that one. Brock and Goldberg, the first one was pretty bad. The hype behind that one, I think, hurt it the most. I'll say as far as maybe the worst one I think I've seen, man, I probably might say Roman and Undertaker. That one was pretty bad. Mainly because I think Undertaker, like Roman Reigns, I thought did what he could, but Undertaker was just such in bad shape that year. Like you could just tell by the way he was moving, like he just couldn't move, and then he just like Roman just tried to like do what he could, but it just wasn't working out. You know what I mean? I felt bad. I felt bad for them too. After that, I was like, man, like if Undertaker was in better shape, they could have put on a better match. But it's just, man, that main event was just not it.
I was gonna say that one too. Was Taker versus Roman.
That was hard to watch at times.
It was very hard to watch.
I'll still take it, but as far as like hype, I'll say Brock and Goldberg. That one had a lot of hype, and then it definitely shit the bed. The crowd took over that match too, though, if people remember. Ooh, somebody said Charlotte, Becky, and Ronda.
Oh,
the triple threat.
Said fight me.
That one could have been a lot better too. I don't think it was the worst one I've seen, but I think the ending confused a lot of people. The way it ended was definitely like confusing. Like as far as how people like saw it happening, like I think it kind of just happened so fast. You know what I mean? So, anybody else got an answer? Marissa, you got one?
The Fiend.
I was going to do the same one
last year.
Ooh, Fiend and Randy Orton. That one was disappointing. That one was disappointing. What did you say, Marissa? Did you say one?
I was gonna say Brock Roman, like Lana said. That one came to my mind first because I was so disappointed, even though I hate both of them, and I was still upset.
Ooh, somebody said Jerry Lawler and Michael Cole. That's a good one. That's
Oh.
if you've
When
never seen
was that? That was like
27, WrestleMania 27.
26? Oh, 27.
Yeah. That one was pretty bad too. All right, last one could be anything. It could be as far as maybe a championship win, a superstar's return, most overhyped wrestling moment to you. A moment that you think is overhyped. It could be a superstar's return. It could be a superstar's push. It could be a superstar win. It could be a match. It could be just any moment. Any moment.
Oh, that's a difficult one as well.
They're all difficult.
Y'all are thinking, so I'll go. Roman's push that is never ending and just draining the life out of me. That I'm so beyond. I know I'm talking to a Roman fan. It's so stale. I am bored. He is my bathroom break at this point because I know what my 7-year-old niece and nephew are telling me what's going to happen. That's a problem.
That's so funny.
That's like when the children are able to predict the ending to a T, that is a problem.
Yes.
That goes beyond domination, and that goes to this has been happening for too long, and we need somebody else. So I'm carrying cross for all I care at this point with somebody. I can't do it anymore. I'm bored.
Well, for the most overhyped return, I'm gonna say every time that Brock comes back. It's so overhyped every single time.
That's so true.
Brock's his return sometimes. The first one felt the most important. That was like
they just don't feel like important anymore because it's just always their fallback every single time. They're like, oh,
I think it's more so that he just facing the same people that he's already faced. You know what I mean? Like if they brought him back to face somebody different, I think it would have a different appeal. Like if he came back and fought Edge, like I think that would he's fighting Edge now. Like that's different. I mean, he came back and fought Karrion Kross. That's different. I mean, like it's just the same type of stuff.
it almost feels to me like it's no longer a return. It's like a last resort. Like, okay, we
Yeah.
don't know what to do with Roman now, so you again go
Just
back.
bring Brock again.
Somebody said Edge's return. Somebody said Batista's in 2015. Batista's return, I think, definitely was ruined for me because of how they did it. I was happy he was first return, but they did it the wrong way. That's what definitely upset it about me. Lana, what about you or Unicorn?
I'm trying to think. I can't remember exactly when I don't know what Mania it was, but it was Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. It was like a 60-minute Ironman match. And it was shocking.
WrestleMania 12, I think.
I can't remember when it was, but my God, that was overrated, overhyped, over everything. And it was just terrible. Terrible. Everything about it was terrible.
What about you?
You said 0 stars.
0.
I'm going to say Brock Lesnar winning Rumble. It's far too overhyped.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
That's a good one too.
that too.
Yeah, that one I kind of think was expected too. I think that was like
And Ronda's return for Rumble. I was not a fan.
Yeah.
I think people kind of felt the Brock thing after he lost the title, like to Bobby. I think people kind of felt the I don't want to say the aura, but I think people kind of just saw like, I kind of think it's gonna happen. Then when he came out at 30, like, oh yeah, well, okay, that's you know what's happening there. Overhyped for me, I would probably let me think of a good one. Overhype. I'm trying to think of maybe a return.
Oof, Eva Marie. In the comments. So true.
She's fab. What are you talking about? I
love
love
it.
it.
But they overhyped her return.
Yes.
And then it was garbage.
Yeah, I think they made it more. They made it seem more than it was going to be. I think, like for like the promo packages, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, they presented her like
She didn't say trash. She said garbage. It's like fancy.
they definitely. I think I don't want to say overhyped it, but like people, I think they saw how she was in the first run and they knew like her wrestling ability wasn't the best. So people maybe I thought maybe she was like, okay, let's see what she can do. Maybe she's coming back. Maybe she's better. But then they still didn't do anything. So it was like, it kind of felt
worse.
like, yeah.
Wait,
like, wow.
Also Veer. Veer was missing for 5 months and then nothing.
Where is he at right now? He hasn't done anything.
He was lost. He couldn't find his way to Raw for half a year.
Lost in IKEA.
He's not even on Raw. He hasn't been on Raw what months? I'm saying like he hasn't been.
No, he was just there like a couple weeks ago.
Same about Ezekiel. Like Ezekiel's been gone for a while now too. So like he's falling off.
Don't care.
Now. Like,
They're having family issues, him and Elias.
and Elrod, I think what is their brother name? Elrod or something like that? Elrod.
Yeah, Elrod.
Elrod or something like that. Overhyped moment for me, I would probably say. Let me see a moment that didn't live up for me. A lot of expectations that were built up that didn't live up to the hype for me. That I was really excited about. I'll probably say the Fiend and Randy Orton feud. The way it ended disappointed me fairly too much. I got too excited about that feud, and then the ending, it broke my heart. I'm not gonna lie. It was very upsetting. It was. I wasn't mad about it at first because I thought maybe something different like what happened at the end of it, but like the payoff, nothing happened during the payoff. Like it just like happened, and then like it was over with after WrestleMania. Like didn't get talked about again after WrestleMania. Like it just nothing had came from it. I'm like, wow, like thought maybe like we are gonna see something different. You know what I mean? And then like I thought maybe like we even see a Randy Orton Alexa Bliss match, like Randy Orton or the Fiend versus Alexa Bliss type thing, like in a Firefly Funhouse match. But then like nothing came of it. So I was like, oh, like nothing happened. So that definitely disappointed me fairly too much. Somebody said Xia Li. That was a good one. Xia Li.
Yeah.
That was really overhyped with all the promo packages. It was so lackluster. Hopefully she gets a push too. We didn't mention her, but hopefully she gets a push too.
Yeah, she didn't do a lot in NXT either. She was there, but I don't remember her doing much. Like she did the stuff at the end, but she didn't really have much to present NXT. I feel like Lacey Evans is a good one too. To round it off, let's see this one. What WWE superstar do you see returning to WWE because of Triple H?
I'm hoping Johnny Gargano. I know we're talking about women, but like I want Johnny Wrestling to come back.
Yeah, I think Johnny Gargano would be a big answer.
And then, if he comes back, Candice LeRae is going to come back. So hopefully,
I'll say a different answer. I think Johnny Gargano is kind of the obvious one. I'm gonna say like Braun Strowman or something. I can see Braun
Ooh.
Strowman coming back.
Really?
Yeah,
That's interesting.
I can see
I
that.
suppose his isn't he going out with
Raquel.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I can see maybe Braun. I think Triple H would do different things with Braun Strowman. The reason Karrion Kross came back, you know what I mean? Like, he trusts
Mhm.
Triple H in the way he's booking things. Like, it makes sense. I think Braun Strowman would be presented differently. So, I'm going to say Braun Strowman for me. Johnny Gargano, I think, definitely will come back, though. Like, no doubt in my mind. But I'll say Braun Strowman.
As far as women, do you guys think now that Triple H is in charge that Ruby would come back and leave AEW?
Oof, I have
Who?
no idea.
I don't.
Ruby Soho.
I don't
I
know.
don't
I
think
don't
so.
know. Do you
Yeah,
know?
but I think she's under that contract. Like, Tony Khan said, he's like people under like 5-year deals. So, like,
Oh,
she's,
oof.
yeah, like some
I think
people.
she's overhyped. The only thing I like
Same.
about her is her song. That's it.
I don't even like her song.
Yeah.
Like, she.
I don't like
liked
her either, but
I liked her when she was when they had the
Riot
Riot Squad. I liked that. But then when she like branched off when they broke that shit up, I'm like, okay. I don't feel any sort of connection to her. Like when I see her, I'm like, all right, okay, here's Pumpkinhead back. Like I just don't really care.
Yeah.
So you're gonna say? I mean, Ruby could be one. I don't know how long her contract is, but I know some people that Tony Khan said, like, I guess some of the newer signings, he said they're under like 5-year deals. So unless they
well,
get
it's like I'm not saying I want her to come back. I'm just like, maybe she would, but someone I would want to come back, I would probably say Nia Jax, just for the fact of like they did her so dirty.
They did.
They need to make up for it.
That's fair. Would she come back though, because of how bad things were?
I don't think she will. But
yeah, I don't think she's interested in coming back.
No, I don't think so.
Maybe with the new management, maybe she will. I don't know, but
I'm sure I read something the other day where she said she didn't want to wrestle anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, fair.
I think they have a good shot. Obviously, like you said, Malik, depending on contracts and stuff. I think WWE's best shot of like taking from AEW is going to be women because of how rough the division is. I think if contracts are up and WWE is going to give the money and the TV time, I think Tony Khan, if he doesn't step it up, he's going to lose some women, and he's going to lose good women because he doesn't have really any like bad characters, bad women at all. And
do you think Ember Moon would come back?
I don't know. She's spoken pretty poorly about WWE and that whole release thing. So I don't know if she'd want to go back. Like apparently they offered her a lot of money and she was not interested.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna
That's also under different management too, though. So now things like people are.
It's gonna depend on how bad of a taste Vince left in their mouths. Like how much do they really just do they hate Vince or do they hate WWE?
Yeah,
exactly. For those who do.
It's kind of like the CM Punk factor. Like CM Punk, I think, just has that really bad taste in his mouth about WWE. You know, like it's just something, the way they treated him and the way they did him and lied to him. I think it's just like some people I think are afraid. Like if they go back, you're falling back to the same environment. You know what I mean? Like the same type of shit. Like you're going into. Like of course, if they want you to come back, they're gonna tell you what you want to hear. But like, if I come back, is it really going to be different or is it going to be the same shit? You know what I mean? You won't know unless you go back. But I think that's how he feels. And some people probably feel that way too. Maybe Ember Moon feels that way. I think a lot of people probably feel that way. But I definitely think they'll probably get their hands on some people. I think Cody Rhodes also set the bar for like people leaving AEW to come to WWE. So like I could see maybe MJF or Kenny Omega or Jade Cargill or like people like that.
Don't say Kenny Omega. No. Don't put that. Don't even say that. Kenny Omega.
WWE. You don't like that?
No. Don't put Kenny Omega in WWE. No way. Please, Kenny Omega stay where he is. No. Don't want to see it.
That would be amazing if he went to WWE.
No.
The matchup he
could
do.
Said, stop talking.
Kenny versus Seth Rollins. I need that badly. That's a match I desperately need to see.
No, I like Kenny in AEW.
He could be great in WWE though too. You don't know that. I mean, we haven't seen him in WWE, and he's been. If you think for his career, he's pretty much been everywhere besides there.
Yeah,
that's the only place he's been. That's the only place. That
but when someone's so great in one place, it's hard to trust that they will have that same light on them.
Exactly.
The same spotlight somewhere else. That's hard to trust.
Yeah.
I mean, you could say the same for AJ Styles too, though. Like nobody knew AJ Styles.
It worked for AJ Styles, but how many has it not worked for? Like that's
that's the risk you take, though. You don't know how
Yeah.
it could work. Like Cody Rhodes, same way. Like people didn't know if Cody Rhodes was gonna get the push that he got when he came back. He hasn't even lost yet since he's been in WWE. Like they hadn't beat Seth Rollins when he had one arm. So it's like, you know, you never
Yeah.
really know. You don't know how people can be treated, and that's literally the last thing he has to do with his career, like accomplishment wise.
Yeah.
Like I know I heard somebody say something, but like he was close to going to WWE, I think, but I think it was more of just like the I think creative freedom. You know what I mean? Like as
Yeah,
far as like
it
freedom.
was.
But now that let's say now there's new management, I think people are going to be open more to like as far as they won't obviously have creative freedom there because the WWE is different type of brand as far as like rider stuff. But I think they're going to be more open to opinions, and I think if Triple H got his hands on Kenny, I definitely think that he would definitely do great things with him. I mean, I would be shocked because like I didn't when AJ Styles came, I mean I didn't know what was going to happen, but like if you'd have told me the first year, like he would have had that first year where he did the thing with Jericho and then he beat John Cena and then he won the WWE Championship, I'd have been like, no fucking way that's going to happen, right? But then like that threw me out of the water. I'm like, oh wow, they really like AJ Styles, so I think I would trust him with Kenny. If Vince was in charge, not really sure, don't really know.
No.
But with Triple H, I definitely would trust him to do something with Kenny Omega and MJF too. Like I know a lot of people are concerned about MJF going over there because his promos may be watered down, but the way they book him, I think I would trust him to do certain. I mean, obviously he can't drop F-bombs and shit on TV. You know what I mean? So he can't do that type of aspect. But I don't think they would just like throw him under the radar. You know what I mean? I definitely think they would do stuff with him. His promos, I think, would have to be justified. You know, they would have to be kind of a little bit differently. But I definitely think he could still go out there and cut promos where you could gravitate towards. And I think he'd be okay. You know, I think he'd be okay there.
I think he's just already like compared too much to the Miz that it just might not work. But I don't know.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's not his fault though. I mean, that's the
No,
fans
it's
who are
not.
there. But could it work out that way too? I mean, yeah. I mean, they could probably throw him in there with the Miz. You know what I'm saying? Have them do like a promo battle together. That'd be fucking insane. I mean, like on the mic, like those two on the mic together. That could be cool. So, I'm interested to see though. I definitely think like some of the newer people though. I think if Triple H had been in charge for a while, I don't think guys like Adam Cole and Collar, I don't think those guys would have left. I think they would probably have stayed. But it's all about just really like timing. Like he's really lucky enough that Karrion Kross was able to come back because he never signed with somebody else. You know what I mean? So like the fact that he never signed anywhere else, it's all really about the time. Same with Johnny Gargano. Like he never went anywhere else. You know what I mean? So he could kind of get him back too. And Candice LeRae, I'm sure she'd come too if Johnny went. I mean, that would just make the most sense. So it's all about really much the timing. But I'm excited to see what the future holds. You know, Clash of the Castle is coming up. I mean, just from the card so far, we only have 2 matches, so I mean, the card looks pretty solid so far. I mean, it looks pretty good from what we've seen so far. As far as what the future holds, give me to end it off. Give me your favorite wrestlers right now for men and women. Your 2 favorites. It could be AEW or WWE.
Oh my goodness.
You're 1 and 2, men and women.
Well, I'm gonna always say Finn Balor. So Finn Balor is always gonna be my man. Women, I'm gonna say Bianca right now.
I like that answer, Bianca Belair.
I need to think. So Marissa, you can go.
Okay, right now Jeff is out, Randy's out, so Matthew Riddle.
I was waiting.
Of course. Matt Riddle. For women, I'm gonna go with Liv because we have no Sasha. If I go AEW, it would be Britt Baker though.
Yeah, fair.
Nice. What about you? You got yours in your corner. You think too?
Seth and Bianca.
Fab.
All right.
There you have your answer.
I mean, it's kind of a cop out, but maybe I would say Cody Rhodes. And then as far as women right now, my girl Alexa.
Fab.
I would say for me, for the women, Sasha isn't there right now, so Bayley has to be number 1 for me right now. She just came back. Yeah. If Sasha does come back, I have to think about that because her and Bayley are like tied for me. As far as Roman Reigns, it's easily Roman Reigns is. I probably don't care about any wrestler as much as like I haven't cared as much about a wrestler since John Cena. Like that's how much I love Roman Reigns right now. Like Roman Reigns is.
Are you okay? Are you sure?
I'm perfectly fine. Are you okay? That's the question. Are you okay? I'll say Roman and Bayley right now. If Sasha comes back, probably Roman and Sasha, but she's not there right now, so I can't say her because she's not on. She hasn't been on TV. But I'll say Roman and Bayley for me right now. Somebody wanted to know, UK girl, are you guys going to Clash at the Castle? I know Lana is.
Yeah,
Yes.
I am.
Do you guys get good
Cannot
seats?
wait. I think so.
Yeah, I don't think mine are that bad.
You guys
I
buy yours
couldn't-
early? Like you guys, I heard tickets like were selling out pretty fast when they kind of went on
They
sale.
were that was the most stressful. Getting Mania tickets was easier than trying to get tickets for this thing. It was the most stressful day of my life. It was horrendous. I never want to do it again ever. I think it was because like literally everyone just tried to get them. Everyone. Like I was trying to get them. I had like a laptop open, I had my phone open, I had a tablet open. My boyfriend had his tablet open, his phone open, and everything was crashing. It was
Oh
chaotic.
my gosh.
Chaotic. So it was.
That's so
Yeah.
stressful too, because like you don't know if you're gonna get the tickets at that point, because like
Yeah.
they could sell out. Yeah, that's pretty stressful too. But
Yeah,
you guys
it
are
was-
going there.
It was
I'm
like
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say like it was stressful for me as well because like my partner and his coworker were buying our tickets and I couldn't get to my phone till my lunch break at work. So I literally had from when the tickets went on sale like 3 hours to wait to find out if we actually got tickets, and I was there at work pacing like I need to know now.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
that's
it wasn't nice. It really wasn't nice.
Hopefully, I hope the show is pretty good for you guys. I hope you guys get.
Mhm.
to
It will.
experience
I
it.
think just the experience, no matter what the show is like, I think the experience of the pay-per-view
Mm-hmm.
will be amazing. And like I'm just so excited for that. And like I hope it will be a success for WWE so that they will come back and they will do more pay-per-views going forward.
Yeah.
I think it'll be
I
fun.
think- I think
And
they
it'll
will.
entice other companies to come as well, hopefully. That's
I
the
think
aim.
they will. I think it'll be a pretty much. I mean, the atmosphere is going to be pretty insane because it's been the first show like this in years. So I think the atmosphere is going to be pretty cool. Hopefully, guys, like I said, can see some good matchups. And then we know Roman and Drew, maybe Karrion gets thrown in there, so the triple threat. And then we have Liv and Shayna
Yeah.
so far, but maybe some other matches we can get in there too that can. I'm interested to see what kind of the matchups they're going to do for the show. I mean, I'm
Yes.
curious to see how the card is going to look overall. You know what I mean? Because usually with these kind of big shows, usually like you see some of the part-timers come back, but I don't think it's going to be like that with this one. I think it's going to kind of be maybe some of the superstars on the show. Like I heard Seth and Riddle was pushed for Clash at the Castle, so if that happens, that'll be dope. And then like Bianca,
Enjoy him. Enjoy him.
I don't know who
Yeah,
Bianca faces though. Maybe Bianca and Alexa, or maybe they do a 6-woman tag match because Bianca's got to do something with Bailey, something with that. So it'll be interesting to see. Just know when you
Yeah.
get there, when Roman comes out, you got to throw up the ones for me. Just
You
for me.
don't have to do anything. You actually can boo him.
Just for me, when he comes out, just you gotta represent. You gotta represent.
You don't have to do that.
You can't do it.
It's worse for me because I will have Steve next to me going,
Yeah,
"Gee,
you will.
get that one off."
It will be worse.
As soon as he comes out, just right there. Oh, you know what? It was cool about SummerSlam. I was sitting in the good section because we were on the good section of the Roman side, so it was pretty fun. It was pretty fun.
Oh no.
Yeah, hopefully you guys have a good time. Thank you guys for joining. Everybody interacting in the chat. I see you guys interacting, giving your thoughts and opinions too. So thank you, girls, for coming on for the Women's Roundtable. Maybe we'll do more of this in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Make sure-
thank you.
Always a
Follow
pleasure.
all the social medias. Make sure you guys check out the wrestling content and stay tuned for the next podcast for all the next Jeopardies we got coming soon. So make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. And ladies, it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
It has.
Thank
Thank you.
Always.